Imagine waking up on a planet where the sky is tinted red. Gravity feels unfamiliar beneath your feet. And Earth is no longer a place you can return to, only a distant point of light in the night sky. No open air, no oceans, no quick rescue. The idea of living on Mars sounds bold, even hopeful. But the reality would be far more complex. So the real question isn't whether humans can live on Mars. It's whether we can live there without losing something essential. Mars is, on average, about 225 million kilometers from Earth. With current technology, reaching it would take 6 to 9 months. Months spent in confinement, isolation, and constant exposure to space radiation. Once launched, there is no easy way back. No emergency evacuation, no resupply missions on demand, no second chances. Only a small number of highly trained people could make the journey. And for them, Mars would not feel like exploration. It would feel like commitment, possibly permanent. Life on Mars. Survival, not settlement from a distance. Mars looks familiar, but scientifically, it is one of the most hostile environments humans could attempt to inhabit. The air is unbreathable. Temperatures can plunge below -120 graus. Celsius gravity is barely more than a third of Earth's. To survive, humans would need sealed habitats, likely underground, protected from radiation and pressure loss. Every basic human need, air, water, food, warmth, would depend on technology functioning perfectly. On Mars, technology wouldn't simply support life, it would replace nature entirely. And when technology fails, there is no margin for error. How Mars would change the human body. Living on Mars would not just challenge our environment, it would challenge our biology. Lower gravity would slowly weaken bones and muscles, and place stress on the heart in ways we don't fully understand yet. Radiation exposure could damage DNA, increase cancer risk, and raise difficult questions about reproduction and long-term health. Children born on Mars might grow up adapted to that environment. Strong enough for Mars, but too fragile for Earth. Over generations, Martian humans might not just live differently. They might be different. Mars wouldn't only change where we live. It could change who we are. A fragile civilization, if humans managed to survive long enough, a Martian settlement could slowly become a society. Energy would likely come from solar power. Water would be extracted from underground ice. Robots and AI would handle much of the dangerous work. But life would remain tightly controlled. Every decision would be measured. Every resource carefully rationed. Every mistake potentially fatal. Cooperation wouldn't be a moral ideal, it would be a necessity. Yet even in such conditions, human conflict wouldn't disappear. It would simply take new forms. Mars would not create perfect humans. It would test imperfect ones. What Mars would mean for Earth. If Mars became a permanent human home, Earth would no longer be our only cradle. That shift would be psychological as much as practical. Humanity would think in planetary terms. Long-term survival would extend beyond one world. Extinction would no longer mean absolute extinction. But Mars would not be a replacement for Earth. It would be fragile, limited, dependent. Rather than saving us from Earth's problems, Mars might remind us how rare and valuable Earth truly is. Final question: progress or escape? So what would really happen if Mars became our second home? We might gain resilience. We might gain knowledge. We might gain time. But we would also risk our health, our sense of belonging, and our connection to the planet that shaped us. Mars would not be a fresh start free of consequences. It would carry every human flaw with it, just with thinner air and higher stakes. Perhaps Mars is not a solution. Perhaps it is a mirror. A test of whether humanity can survive not just in a hostile environment, but with itself. And if we cannot learn to care for one planet, the question remains: what makes us believe we are ready for two?